KWTN 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to 100.9 FM. This is KWTN, the Big Voice Radio, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. And this is the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Coach Q. And right beside me,
as always, B-Luv.
B-Luv is in the house once again.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, B-Luv, man, we had a lot of sports happening this last couple of weeks, man. Mm-hmm. And hey, I kind of really enjoying getting back on the radio, you know.
Yep, same.
And today we are live here at 5, you know. We got a couple of things that we're going to talk about today, and we got some guests coming to the studio today. Today with us is one of the coaches here for the Winnebago Indians varsity football team, Coach Dusty Welsh. Dusty, you can say hi to everybody.
All right, how we doing?
And then we have one of the other coaches here as well, Nick Sansasi, former Winnebago. Yeah, and
Princess.
No, but Nick's been working so hard. Nick's the coach that's been waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30, getting these boys in the weight room all summer long. And I hear you're even doing that even recently too, getting the gym open for them.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
All right, man. Hey, it's good to have you guys on, man. It's good to have you on. We're going to talk a lot of football today, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of football. We're going to talk about Winnebago Indians football. Mm-hmm. But before we get into the big dogs here for the high school team, we're just going to mention a little bit about our Pee Wee football team that we have here in Winnebago. So, Pee Wee football. Nick, when you were growing up, did you play Pee Wee football here in Winnebago?
So I played 5th through 6th, but I know now they go all the way down to 4th and 3rd, and they do flag football at even younger. So
yeah.
not quite that young.
But at the 5th and 6th grade age?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess in Northeast Nebraska they still do call that Pee Wee, but you know, just knowing that the kids that are in our community starting at 3rd grade, you know, as a high school football coach, what do you think about that? What do you think about the age and when they start?
So I see a lot of the 4th and 3rd graders around a lot because I'm in their classroom a lot. See them playing at recess, and they are such a smart group of football players. It's insane. Like, they're at recess talking about routes, run game, where they want to put the ball placement. It's crazy how smart those kids are regarding football.
Yeah, I got a chance to coach Pee Wee football a couple years when my boys were growing up, and it's not easy at all. You know, it's not easy. Football. It's a fun sport to play, but to coach it, to keep them disciplined,
that age is to keep them going and keep them, you know, on the path on what they're supposed to be doing and stuff like that. Just the attention. You know, the attention span of that age group, you know, he just brought up, like, it goes back down to, like, my grandson's in 1st grade, and he's playing flag football for Homer.
Yeah, flag football.
Yeah, and it's crazy to try to keep their attention. You know, so my grandson August, he plays, and he's like the biggest kid on the team. But what's that little dance that everybody does when they swing their arms and they got?
You like to call the gritty?
The gritty.
Yeah. So he's got different versions of it. They got everything anymore.
So I think it's that whatever the ones on those video games, and my grandson was sitting on it was his turn to run the ball, so they took him on sideline. August, get in there, and he went from the sideline all the way out to the thing doing that dumb little dance. And then he's sitting on the line doing the same thing, and they had to get set, so his coach had to get after him. It's just crazy. But you know, you can see a lot of that. I mean, that's not taken away from nothing here. Just my grandson goes to school at Homer, so the teams up there, they look like they kind of had them on the right path too, just like the boys down here, you know. So it's going to be fun to watch as they get older.
I'll be Coach Dusty. How about you? How old was your boys when they start playing football?
Shoot, like mine now, like probably about the same, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. We didn't play tackle till 5th, 6th. So they don't play in Bancroft. We don't where my kids go. 3rd and 4th is just flag. So you know, they don't start tackle, which I'm fine with. I'm not big. I think as long as you start junior high,
more and more, I kind of think that too. Is like kind of worried about these kids' health and stuff. Injuries are just so common nowadays. Back in the day, we didn't see anybody really hurt their knees that much. But nowadays, I think you might have to do a little bit with the turf, maybe with the shoes, something. But we are getting a lot more like knee injuries and stuff like that.
It's that LeBron era of sports.
There we go.
Here we go. Back in the 90s when we played in the late 80s and 90s, I see some kids get tired when they got to play both ends. Both ways. They get tired. The coach take them out. They're like sitting there tapping the helmet or tugging at their shirt to come out. I don't think we ever did that. We got mad when the coach took us out.
Yeah,
and then, come on, what'd I do wrong?
I think even us, like if we even try to take ourselves out of a game, Pops would be over there at the sideline, man, getting mad at us. Like, what are you doing, boy?
How can anybody get hurt in football? You ain't hurt. Get back in there.
Yeah, your legs hanging there halfway. So anyway, the Pee Wee football, I think it's epic in every community if they can get in there. Winnebago, I guess, are lucky to per se to be able to play tackle football in third and fourth, because I know in Sioux City they go flag football too at the
a lot of places don't.
So, but the third and fourth grade team, I watched these guys play last week, man. These guys, they're something else. The third and fourth grade team, they got some athletes on that team, so that should be some good news for you high school coaches. You guys got some people coming up.
That's good.
Take as many as we can get.
So I do want to give a big shout out to the Boys and Girls Club here in Winnebago, all the staff, all the coaches. Those coaches, they don't get paid. It's just mostly it's just dads that played football before. They're out there trying to help out, donating their time, and believe it or not, man, those guys are priceless. The coaches in that age group are priceless, because like saying you can't put a price tag on it. They don't get paid, so that's literally what it is. So shout out to all the coaches. And then also the community came together at each one of these home games, so I want to give a shout out to the community too, all the fans and the family and the friends that come out to cheer on our young athletes, and then on top of that, the Pee Wee, they even have a cheerleading squad. Then there's coaches that do that stuff too for free. Nice. So I want to give a shout out to the cheerleading coaches, and shout out to all those young ladies that are out there cheering on your little brother, your big brother, your little cousin, your little digga, whatever, shout out to all you girls. So they did a great job. All right, so let's go ahead and get into some high school football.
Quick before we go there, did you say something about earlier about the Pee Wees might have a couple extra games?
Oh yeah,
just to rewind a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks for catching me on that one. So the third and fourth grade, fifth and sixth grade league is over that Winnebago played in Northeast. They played their last games this past
Sunday.
This past Sunday. I think the third and fourth grade team made the playoffs. Good job, by the way, for a good season. But the coaching staff got a call from this Sioux City West High or West League up there, West Middle School League, and it's they have a little Pee Wee football league up there. And they called down and actually gave an opportunity for the Winnebago football team to play in 2 more games up there in the city. I heard they got to play 11 man now. So, but hey, the coaches and the kids, they're ready for it,
Yeah.
And so I do want to make sure and put that out there. There is a post going around, and I believe that we can get it shared onto the Big Voice Facebook page that has all the information about that about those 2 games coming up. And those games are going to be held in Sioux City at West. Yeah, and I believe, ladies and gentlemen, just check the post out. There is going to be a visual of even where the football field's at and where you got to park and everything. So, Beth, I believe I sent that to you in the inbox to the Big Voice. And but yeah, so that's gonna be coming up in the next couple of weeks, you guys. So all you football fans out there, make sure and check the schedule out. If you are listening on the radio and you can't see the schedule, get with one of the relatives and find out what time the game is and where it's at. I'm sure we can all try to get there and support the Indians.
Yep.
So yeah,
Good.
So Pee Wee football. Okay, so let's get into this high school football. the majority of these high school boys, all that are on the varsity football team that are doing real good this year, all came from the same Pee-wee, this Boys and Girls Club Pee-wee leagues, you know. And so these Pee-wee leagues are really important. And that's why I wanted to make sure and mention that, because these boys that we're gonna be talking with later on in the show, these guys all just came from playing Pee-wee not too long ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
And so we want to hear from them too, kind of how things have changed and, you know, what football has done for their life. So, but Coach Dusty, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna let you go ahead and take over the mic a little bit. I'm kind of tired of talking.
All right,
so
sounds good.
I know that Winnebago's doing really good this year, and I know that we beat a team that we haven't beaten in a couple years with Todd County earlier in the season. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the mic over to you and kind of, you know, fill us in on the season and let us know kind of what's been going on. And I'm sure that along the way as you're talking, me and Buff be interrupting, asking you questions and stuff too.
Sounds
so
good.
but that's what we do.
Dang
so
right,
hey,
that's your job.
Coach, you got the mic.
All right. Yeah, Dusty Welsh here. For something you don't know, it's my first year as the head football coach. Been around 9 years though, so I've been 8 years assistant. It's my first year at the helm. Give a quick shout out first for you guys for having me on. This is great.
Yes, indeed.
Secondly, always the assistant coaches. You know, we got Kobe Benny. He's a first year guy. Nick, he's been around off and on here for, I don't know how many years. 4 years. 4 years. All right, and then Trayvon Bear. Give a shout out to those guys. I mean, they're kind of the ones that, you know, do all the stuff behind the scenes, which is good. So as far as the year goes, I think we started out, maybe 28, 29 kids, and I think we actually, this is a crazy thing, we had all 23 there today, which is probably the first time in, I don't even know, I started counting them. So then 40, so we got 23 left right now, so which is good. I'd like more, but you kind of just roll with what you get.
Yep,
so
yep.
You know, and it's football's not for everybody. You know, I mean, I know both your boys run cross country, and they're doing a heck of a job there too. So it's like whatever your thing is, do it. That's cool. But so we're, as of right now, we're 6-0. Like you mentioned, we beat Todd County. They beat us 4 times in a row.
Wow.
So that was, you know, kind of get the monkey off the back or whatever.
Yeah,
you say,
yeah,
you
for
know.
real.
So
That's
it's
a
like,
good feeling.
it's not that we didn't think we could ever beat them. It was just kind of nice to finally do it. And then we played. So then we also played Pine Ridge earlier in the year. I kind of let that one kind of get closer maybe than it should have been. We won by 6, but they got talent. Like, they got some. I know they got some. You probably know stud basketball players.
We did talk about that game on here before. You guys, one of your guys' quarterbacks, Elijah, was on the show with us a few weeks back, and we were talking about the Pine Ridge game. It was a close game. I'm glad it was a close game. I'm so glad that game was a close game, because last year it was a close game, and then Winnebago kind of gave that one away at the end. You know what I mean? And so that also is a good feeling to kind of get them guys back too.
Oh, for sure. And they got, and I don't know if you guys know much about Pine Ridge basketball. They got some studs, and a lot of those guys play
State team
football.
last year.
Yeah, where they make stat. I'm sure they can. They got that quarter, Marvin Richards III. I guess he's like, I've never seen him play, but they say he is a stud basketball player.
He's probably 24 years old too, though.
I think he's ranked top 5 in South Dakota.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's good, but he's their quarterback. And they got we don't need to talk about Pine Ridge, but I'm just saying that like them and Todd County are the two that we're lucky. We got the one. As long as we win tomorrow, we'll have the 1 seed. So those 2 teams will have to play each other to go to the championship.
So you'll probably get one more chance at either one of them.
Yeah, we will for sure. You know, hopefully, I mean, we take care of business, which I wouldn't think we would. We should have a good chance to make the championship, and then we'll play one of those 2 teams, which is why the 1 seed was so important.
Yeah.
So that way I don't have to play those teams.
Make our way back up to Vermilion. Is that where they'll play that again?
To the Dome.
That's always
Dome.
good.
Yeah. That's a cool experience. So.
It is.
But that's down the road. We still got some other things to take care of first.
One game at a time.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I got to roll in town after the cross country meet, and got to see the last 4 minutes of the third quarter and then the fourth quarter of the Winnebago Todd County game, and so I got to roll in town on that, and so I got to see the excitement and not just you coaches' faces, but the boys' faces too. You can tell that they were all, you know. When you work hard, and then you earn something, and that feeling you get when it's over, it's like, oh man, it was all worth it.
Yeah.
You got to see that look on the boys' faces, and I think Winnebago, especially watching that game, needs to like maybe kind of like step back and kind think about being humble.
Yep.
Because I know during that game, man, I think both teams were getting flags thrown left and right because of stuff that was going on the field that shouldn't have
I
been.
think that was that Pine Ridge game that was kind of getting a little chippy there, because I was at that game and I seen it was like getting towards halftime or something like that, and then seeing Tiny Baby kept turning his head back looking at one of their guys that just got up off a tackle, and when they're at each other. And Elijah kind of confirmed that the other day when he was on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely plenty of that going on. I mean, a lot of it I didn't hear it, but like after the game, some of the things their kids are telling me, I'm like, this was going on out there, and I'm like, what the heck? And then, but there was definitely a few in the Todd County game too. The couple.
I think that we could all just like go back to the old sayings, like just let your game do your talking. You know, me and Buff always say all the time. You know.
Yeah. You know, anymore it's part of the sport.
Yeah, especially when it's two res teams going at each other. You know, it's kind of hard not to. You know.
Yeah. Hey, is Macy? Are they going to be in the playoffs too?
That was going to be going to one of my next subjects too. After we get into talking, but we can go ahead and segment off into that real fast, like too. Well, not real fast. Like we'll talk about it a little bit too. You know, because I know that Omaha Nation, when we talked about them before on the show, at that point in time they were undefeated. I think they were 4-0.
4-0, yeah.
And they were coming up on the Lower Brule game.
Yeah. And then they got beat by, I got it right here. So they got beat by Lower Brule, so they're 5-1. So they're sitting second right now. So then but they play White River, who's third. So I mean that'll be kind of the game that kind of see who's second there. But they got a good chance.
That
to make
White River game is probably an away game too, right? I think that Omaha Nation plays up in White River. And where's White River, bro? Is that Minnesota? Where's that at?
No, it's South Dakota. It's right. It's like south of the interstate, like north of Kyle, because we came from Little Wound. We kind of drove right by it, but that's terrible directions right there. But like
no, but I mean, just you said a couple of those names, and those are on the Pine Ridge Ridge, so that's probably on the Pine Ridge Ridge. I can see. No, but that'll be interesting. We have to follow that game, and I know that Omaha Nation, they're the public school. They usually send out links to the games too. So any of you listeners out there that are following the Omaha Nation Chiefs football team in their season, just make sure and log on to their school's Facebook page and hit that link and watch the game. You know. But yeah, Omaha Nation, they are doing pretty good. I'm pretty proud of those guys. You know, I drop off my wife right by the football field every morning. You know, and I before football season started, I see those guys out there early in the morning, you know, going to town and stuff like that. So they're working hard down here.
That's good.
Yep.
I know that you said bro Lamar, remember his boy's doing really good down here.
Yeah, he's a little running back, little solid guy.
Then I think their quarterback Franklin just lost his pops this past. You know, condolences out to the Sheridan family out there.
Yeah.
We know that Coach Neal was a avid youth worker in all the sports too. So you know,
he's a hell of an athlete himself too as a young man. You know, and even up until his passing, he was good. Played softball all the time. Played basketball. Powwowed. Good guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, and our prayers here, at the Big Voice Sports Talk Show and the Big Voice Radio go out to the family there. But in that saying, they got some really good athletes down there in Omaha Nation. Some of these boys that we know their families, just like you said, and they're following in those footsteps in a good way. Omaha Nation, keep it going, you guys. Season's not over. You guys got White River, and you guys got a big game. A big game next week against Winnebago. And that's going to be down there in Omaha Nation.
Oh, so we do get it. We do get a play out.
Yeah, it changed this year with the schedule. So I guess we're in the A division or the upper division, which is the bigger schools, and then there's the bottom division, which I don't call it top bottom, but just by size. Yeah, A division.
A, B, East, West. We'll say our north, south.
Yeah, it just goes by enrollment. That's all it is. So it's so they're in the lower enrollment division, the B division. So all right, so that's we're in the A. So we're not in the same, but so last couple of years we haven't played because you only play teams in your division.
Sure.
This year they decided to have a crossover game, so we're crossing over playing them.
So I got a quick trivia question for you guys, and I don't know the answer to this. When was the last time Winnebago played Omaha Nation football?
Oh man, I should know that. I should be the one that knows that answer.
Omaha Nation is still 8-man, right?
2022.
No, they're 9-man
They're
in
9-man.
that league too. They're in the same league as us.
It's 2022. Last year was the only year you guys didn't play them.
Oh, really?
2022?
Yeah.
Oh, really? We just played them 2 years ago. I didn't know that.
I remember in
Seems like a long time ago.
I remember in basketball, it's like it's been a couple seasons since we played them, or not. It was a couple seasons before we played them because there was a couple Blizzard games, and there was another time where they didn't have enough, or we didn't have enough players because some boys went to a football all-star game or something like that. I can't remember how it went, but it was a while. So,
Okay.
but hey, when is that game, Dusty?
It's be next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow. Yep, Thursday night, 6 o'clock, down at Omaha Nation.
Definitely gonna go to that one.
Yep.
Definitely gonna catch that one.
So that should be a good one. Should be
And
I mean, those kids like to play each other. You know, it's kind of it's a rivalry, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like
the
it is, but it
the
isn't.
crazy thing about that rivalry though is because we think back to our rivalry, and we used to. It seemed like they were always like the enemy or something like that. You know, the players, the athletes on the team. But we visit with them and laugh and have friendships and stuff like that outside of that. But it was always just the game was always real intense, right? Mm-hmm. And I can think back to all the players that we played against. Man, we're all real close friends growing up, you know. But that rivalry is always going to be there, and you know what that's going to do? That's going to make these games always be epic, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, definitely next week, you guys. We'll have another show next week on Wednesday, and so we're really gonna hype that Omaha Nation game up for the schools.
I'm gonna have to do a board for a football board for that game.
Hey, that would actually be a good one to do there. B-Luv.
Little office pool. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see
yeah.
what happens.
So we talked a little bit about next week. So let's talk about this week. So you guys got this big game coming up tomorrow. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we got St. Francis comes down tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. So, yeah, if you're here, come on out, show up. I mean, it's just good. It's Parents' Night, too, so we got Parents' Nights going on.
Parents' Night for all the football squad, the volleyball, or not
cheerleaders.
Not the volleyball. Volleyball did theirs, right?
Yeah, volleyball did theirs. Football for cross country and
Girls golf.
And girls golf.
They're doing all that tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're finally gonna see a game under the lights. Because it's gonna get dark, you know? And I know there've been a lot of afternoon games, and I know the reason why.
Todd County was in the dark.
Was
Yeah, it was in the lights.
well, I heard half the lights even work.
Enough work.
The one down here in the corner was.
So
it's a little dark down there, you
I
know.
heard that was that's been a while, so that's why they're doing a lot of day games. So I heard they got it fixed.
They
They're
did.
ready to go.
Those guys have been going like crazy. Those guys working down there, so they should be good to go. We'll see.
That's good.
You never know until the test comes out. You know what I'm saying? Until it's the game.
Big fireworks show in that one corner.
Yeah. So
okay, we're ready to go. I'll be there tomorrow night for sure. Come down, and get some
Tomorrow
popcorn.
night's gonna be a good one. It's gonna it's gonna be a real good one for the radio because we're gonna actually stream the
Heck
game.
yeah.
Get back in there.
You're back.
Let's
go.
We got invited back to go do this do the game tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be doing the live stream tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I believe we're gonna go on the radio around 5:45. So make sure and tune in.
Who's sitting up there with you?
Me and Coach Huge.
Coach Huge, all
Yeah,
right.
Coach
I gotta
Huge.
Listen up on my phone or something while I'm watching it.
Yeah, I know. We both miss being out there on the live stream, so we're making it enjoyable for everybody.
That's good.
And so we can follow the game.
Check the comments. You might have a little heckler or two on there.
I'll be doing it from the sideline.
Looking up to us, you guys.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Parents' Night, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure and if you ain't doing nothing, come on out, man. We need to fill those bleachers. And if you're broke, just go park up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
That's where all the broke people are. So but make sure if you can have some fireworks, make sure and bring them out because anytime Winnebago scores a touchdown, we want you guys to light some fireworks off.
It's only a $25 fine at the courthouse, so you guys should be fine.
Ain't bad.
Sometimes the cops are the ones lighting the fireworks. But yeah, so that's gonna be an exciting time, man. And like I said, make sure we'll hype up the game for you guys next week too.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. And so, we got one of our varsity football players here with us today. We're gonna get him up on the mic here. I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself too once he gets up here. But Coach Dusty, I know that you guys looking forward to finishing out the season strong. I know that one of your close friends, Adam James, took on a different job, be closer to his daughters and their final years of high school and everything like that. I know that you guys probably learned a lot from each other, and
for sure.
I want to give you just a little opportunity before we kind of get this young man on the microphone to kind of maybe send a little message out to Adam James.
Yep.
I know he's probably either not. If he's not listening now, he will listen. He'll hear it because I know that he wants to follow up on his boys.
Yep. He's been following all these guys and pretty much all the sports. So I still talk to him quite a bit. So it's like friendship wise hasn't really changed. I don't see him every day down here, but heck, he's the only reason I got a job here. So I mean, he's the one that's like, hey, well, this is open. You need to apply. Let's get this. And then so good. And then we obviously coached together the last 8 years in football, and he's kind of the one that just I don't know. He kind of made the change when they went to 8-man, and then made the change when they went up to the All Nations League. He's kind of the one that was in all that. So a lot of time, a lot of effort. Just a lot of, what it is with these coaches and ADs, and it's all behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the stuff you see is cool, but like there's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that really is like the important stuff. I would say,
time away from family, and all the stuff that he did with the team back, with the state tournament teams, basketball, boys and girls, those years and stuff, and there's a lot of that stuff that goes into it. He's a good friend. He's a good friend. I get along good with him.
Yep.
He even kind of looked like he dropped some weight too.
Oh my God! Have you guys seen him lately?
Yeah, I didn't recognize him the last time I saw him.
And I guarantee you see him again, he's lost more. It's like, eat a cheeseburger. Come on
as I
now.
say, either his wife ain't cooking for him, or he's on some kind of health kick.
I know.
Hey, it's that change of pay going from being the AD up here in Winnebago to being a little coach down here.
Yeah.
Adam better come back up. Wasting away on us.
I got to give a shout out to Adam too, man. I let him know on a number of occasions that myself and more than likely the community always appreciates him and what the efforts that he gives for our kids. So and he loves our kids, man. He loves our kids. So
for sure.
Good stuff, Adam James. All right, so hey, step into the microphone. I know you like to give this guy introduction, B-Luv, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce him.
Introduct him. We have in the house. We have the All-American Jared Doxey Jr.
Say what's up, Doc.
He was All-American in wrestling a couple years ago as a young guy, so I don't know what's going on with it right now. So he hasn't been up here for a while.
He's gonna go and fill us in right now. Okay, so hey, Doc, say thanks for coming up here to the show. Sure. Thanks for joining us, man. Seems like when we talk about sports here in Winnebago, there's a couple names that come up, and you're one of the consistent names that come up throughout each season, and just representing the Winnebago Public School, the Winnebago High School, and the Winnebago people really well. Your name and Dami
Barrett.
You guys' names that come up a lot.
Dave Winget.
Dave Winget. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the mic just a little bit. I know you when you first came up here, you was a little nervous, didn't talk too much, said a couple words. Second time you come up, you kind of broke the ice, and so I know that now. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the mic. I want you just to talk a little bit about your season, your coaches, and what's going on with you.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Just beginning of the season, just kind of nervous going to the camp. We only had 12 people. 10.
12. Yeah, we had 12 at the camp.
12 kids at the camp. Everybody else had about 30. It was pretty small. Kind of got scared. New conditioning was gonna be a lot going into the season. But then about a week out from the Cheyenne Eagle Butte game, I don't know, everything clicked. Everybody was locked in. Everything was going smooth. Everybody's conditioned. It was all just ready. And then since then, everything else has just been clicking for us.
Yeah, man. So I know that going into your junior year, right?
Yep.
Junior year. You guys lost a lot of players last year, and you think about the players that we lost last year. We were on the radio talking about those players over and over. Caden, Cash, quarterback. You had a lot of people, a lot of important roles that needed to be replaced.
Yep.
So that was my thing. Thinking, man, sometimes you hear just different things from the community. Oh man, they're losing a lot. And one of the things that I always said, regardless of who we lost, is like, well, you know what? Those younger boys all played in the same leagues that these guys did coming up, you know, and then in the past they've said that before where they graduated kids out and like, oh, they lost a lot. Well, you know, this is probably one thing that I want you to try to maybe talk about real fast. Like, is like, did you guys feel that way too, going into the season? Like, man, we lost a lot last season, or how was that mindset at the beginning of the year?
So, I guess after the championship game, it really hit. Like, I was like, dang, we're losing to like our middle linebacker, outside linebacker, everybody.
Yeah.
And I just thought about it, and it's like, I don't know, it's different at Bago. Like, the way practice goes, there's like, how would you say that, introduce the younger kids early so they can just watch that position over and over. So when they do leave, we just have the other person there to be able to fill it, you know, just being hungry basically.
Yeah.
Well, you lose out on a senior who has seniority and they got the general idea of the game, but you're gaining a younger guy with the extra year of experience now and just being seen that. So just like everything else, we don't lose them, we reload.
And fire too, you gain that too, because those guys maybe didn't get the amount of playing time they wanted last year. And now that the position is open, you might have 2-3 guys that are going to, you know, work their butts off for that position, you know.
You're older, you're more mature too, so, you know.
Yeah.
One of that stood out too, that when you said a couple of names, Cassius and Kenny DuBois, and then Neiman is another one, right?
Santonio.
Yeah. I played softball with Kennedy and Tony. Those guys are some athletes. They never even picked up softball and played before. And then by the end of the summer, guys are just like that's what they would want to do is play. You know, they're fast. They hit the ball. They can still a little touchy on their glove, but they're pretty good.
Yeah. Athletes, man.
Yeah.
I said this the other day, and I'll bring this up a little bit later, but I said this around a group of parents. I talked about their kids, their little kids, and I was saying, you know, we don't even know it, but amongst this whole group of kids right here, we might have over half of these kids are going to be elite athletes, but nobody even knows. We don't know anything about it. But this community, we have those kind of athletes, you know, and a lot of it has to do with you guys, you coaches, you know. A lot of it has to do with the Pee Wee coaches I was talking about earlier, whether it be football and volleyball, basketball, all these different sports, you know. And that's where you find out what kind of athletes we're going to have is through those guys. And so, well, since I mentioned them, just say shout out to all you guys for all you do, you know. But how about this though? Like, this is a topic I was going to talk to you about, B-Luv, and I don't know if you ever had an experience this, but I did my senior year. Is having a new coach come in so it's a whole different look, you know. Like, you're used to having a head coach, this guy, he's running the show all the time, and then all of a sudden you come in, you're a junior, but for the seniors that are in there, all of a sudden they got a new coach. I mean, you've been there, coach, you've been there, but it's a new guy calling the shots, and he's got maybe a different coaching staff, you know. And so that's always a big change. I remember my senior year, we had a new football coach, and he never even watched Winnebago play. He never even saw me play before, and I was coming off a summer where I had sprained my ankle 3 different times.
Who was that coach?
His name was Jurgens.
Yeah, Matt. Was it Matt?
Tom. His last name was Jurgens.
He was a big football player guy too. Was that him?
Yeah, he played 11 man, so he came into a whole different thing. He never even knew 8 man existed. So
and what he said he never seen Quince play. When Quince was a junior, he was a 1,000-yard rusher. So he was a starting tailback as a sophomore. Junior, he's really good. Senior year, then I think you just had trouble with him, coach, right? Didn't you?
Well, I had my ankle problems.
Well, that too, yeah.
And then I went from. Well, anyway, it's not about me. I'm just saying about the new coach coming in, you know, and then for you too, it's kind of tough too, because you're coming off a season where you guys made the championship game last year,
for sure.
And so maybe like just being the Winnebago coach, you already have those expectations that this is what's supposed to happen.
Probably wasn't as big a change for me as it was the 3 assistant coaches too, like Nick Halpin and Kobe Benny. It's his first year, so he's walking in like first year ever coaching anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like he's like, you know, like you don't know how bad of a coach you are until you actually do it, and you're like, holy cow, I was not prepared for this. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like my first year that I coached down in Bangkok, I'm like, I think I know football, and then you show up and you're like, holy cow, man, I'm not any good right now. You know what I mean? As a coach, like I am not good. So so it's nice when like. I don't know if I help it at all, but they just try to, you know what I mean? Just everybody kind of does their job a little bit, but it's a lot of getting used to. And then Trayvon, he's kind of running the defense this year, first time he's ever done it. Yeah. So it's like, which I used to do that for 8 years. So it's like I want to hand it off to him, but it's like every time he says something, it's like, man, maybe.
I think that's every coach though. Every coach,
But you're the head. You got to.
Well, I know Doxy can back me up at the Little Wound game when I got a little mad, and on the defense, it wasn't Trey going out there to yell at him. It was me. So
That's what this guy, he tries to get me to come coach Warpath and stuff. And I said, I'm not a coach. I can't do the stuff that he does. The only thing I can do is I used to play all the time until I was an old man. I said, only way I can teach him is just come watch me. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can say.
So I actually try to take advantage of that sometimes, and I say, hey, I know you don't want to coach, but can you at least come down here and work with this big guy for me, And I'll have him come down and just show him some footwork, and you can coach. You're not patient enough is all. That's what it is.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's when you yell at him. You get it off your chest and all right, and then we move on.
I tell you how impatient I am. If I can't peel a boiled egg with the first 3 cracks, I'm throwing it away.
Oh my gosh.
So it's got to be boiled just right.
Hey, let's get Docs on the mic again. So we was talking about these games earlier. You guys played a couple tough games. Pine Ridge, Todd County. Were 2 of the games that I know that were fairly close games, and good games. You guys actually had to work your butts off to get those dubs. Maybe kind of take us down how you felt about those games. Hearing it from one of the players that actually was in there. Maybe kind of, can you play last year when we lost to those teams?
Yeah.
So maybe kind of tell us kind of your feelings about those games and how you guys worked and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, starting with the Todd County game, going into it, what they do, they ran right through our drill, right in the beginning.
Oh yeah, they actually when we were warming up, they actually ran right through our warm-up deal.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't say anything, but if you watch the film, it's on film. I actually walked over right into their players too. Like, I don't know, that stuff's fun. Like, that's what makes it fun. Like, but it was right away disrespect. You know what I mean? Which is part of the game.
Okay, keep going. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep that going.
Just after that, I don't know. At first, I was kind of butterflies, and then I seen them do that, and then after that, I was locked in. Got right up, ran into the locker room, put on my pads, and then it was just go time. And then they struck first, got a passing touchdown.
Yeah, long passing touchdown.
Kind of got everybody's hopes up, so I went over there, talked to everybody. I was like, this is just the first quarter, first 2 minutes, we're good. Like, let's go. So answer back, and then after that, I just came back into the huddle and huddled up the defense. I was like, let's not do what we did these past few years. We get up, and then after we get up, we just let off.
Yeah, can't do
let
that.
off hard, and then they come back second quarter or second half, score 20 points that 1 year. Did it two times to us.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yep. And then we just let up. So after that, went in halftime, and I just kind of talked to everybody. Like, let's not let up. Let's think of it as we're down 20 points and we got to get it back. So that's why we just kept scoring on them.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. Never let the gas out, man. Just keep your foot down. So that was that Todd County game, but
yeah,
so you guys got them back, and I know that there was a lot of talk. We were talking about that a little while ago. While you were sitting there listening, there was a lot of talking going on between both teams, So then I was glad because, of course I'm a Winnebago fan, and I know that sometimes we just talked about this too. Sometimes Reds teams can get really, talking back and forth, and it always really sucks to be on the other side when you're losing and you was out there talking smack. So I guess letting them have that feeling instead of us guys, And so go ahead and bring us to that Pine Ridge game then.
I mean, the Pine Ridge game too, disrespect right away.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours outside of the game, they come onto the field and pads fully on, talking smack. It's only 5 of us out there. They're talking hot, and after that, I don't know, same thing as Todd County.
A lot of words you can't repeat on the radio station.
Can't repeat a lot of the words they said. Got everybody fired up, went in there, knew it was go time, and then that's kind of what we did that first game too. Is we let up that second half, and that's when they came roaring back. Would they go on a 26 streak?
Yeah, about 20 in a row. I think they scored 20 in a row on us.
20 in a row. We didn't answer back, and then I don't know, just even like you said, like that smack talk stuff. They just try to get in your head once they get down and all that stuff. And you can see it on film all the time. I huddle everybody up in the defense, and kind of smack some people up as they're talking back, and then tell them, let's go, let the game talk.
Yeah, for real.
Go back out there and do what we do.
Do it the legal way. Just put your head down and just blow someone up. So I could do whoever's talking, whether it's a block, whether it's on kickoff, or you're running the ball, and they're the only one there that's come for a tackle. Blow them up.
Yeah.
Then that way, then you can, as soon as they're down on the ground, they just hover over them and start barking like a dog. That's what Lawrence Taylor used to do back in the day. Bark at them like a pit bull.
Or just stand above them and smile.
Yeah.
Stand above them and smile.
Wink at them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing better than helping them up.
Yeah.
You look at them, here you go, buddy.
Or good try.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a good try. A good tackle, man.
Hey, so I actually, you guys play. Who is it tomorrow?
St. Francis.
St. Francis.
Yep.
I actually went to the St. Francis game last year when we played up there. First time I've been up there to watch any football in South Dakota.
He went to a powwow. Let's keep it real.
No, we actually went on north to the L&I golf tournament.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But you guys handled it pretty good last year.
Yep.
And so I'm really looking at another night where you guys just come out and just put the pedal to the floor.
Yep.
You know, get as much as you guys can out of it.
Yep.
Play your young players.
Yep.
You know, get those young players in there early. I'm not trying to coach or anything like that, but even
Sure sounds like it.
Even throw a couple of those young guys in with the varsity squad in the heat of the game. You know, give them some of that experience. Maybe some of those young guys got to get their fears taken care of, you know, and put them in there, you know, and see how well they do. But you know, I'll be there rooting you guys on and everything like that, you know. And then next week, Docs, big game next week.
Big game.
And so I know that we're thinking about the St. Francis game first, but we're probably gonna have the cross country team on here next week.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe give me your thoughts about that Omaha Nation game.
I mean, they have a lot of athletes, like a lot. But I don't know. I'm always gonna be biased for my team.
Yeah,
we put in the work. We deserve it more. But yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I feel like we're gonna battle it out for a while, and then I feel like we're gonna get the job done.
You want to give the listeners a little shout out? Maybe ask them to come down and support you guys.
Yeah, just come support us down in Macy. What time is that game?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yep.
Night game too. Under the lights.
Under the lights.
Oh, one thing I gotta say that just came to my head. The game tomorrow is a pink out, so it's for Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, okay.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it'll be any kids. I don't know if it's just kids. Might be just any student that comes in with pink gets in the game free.
Okay.
Good. It's just cancer awareness. We'll be all white tomorrow night, and then we'll try to get the kids to wear as much pink as possible for the game. So that's tomorrow night too. That's from the student council. It's actually the one that kind of puts that on.
Okay.
So I just thought of that. Thought I'd mention that.
That'll be a good one. Make sure you guys keep your eye open for the post.
Coach is gonna have all white on though, or are you guys gonna try to get pink on?
I'm kind of one of those guys. If you don't lose, you don't change what you wear. So it's going to be hard for me to wear any pink because I don't normally wear pink. But I might have an undershirt on or something. But
underwear.
Oh, who wears that? People wear that? Do I wear that?
Some little furry one.
Hey, we're on the radio.
Hey, it's still PG. It's still PG. Everybody wears them except for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's gonna be an exciting time, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure, like Coach said, make sure to try to wear some pink tomorrow at the game here in Winnebago.
My boy Trav, just go ahead and come shirtless. You'll be fine. Free entry. Holla at your boy.
Yes, indeed. Hey, so I'm gonna go ahead and change the pace that we got. About 10 minutes left in the show, and you guys are more than welcome to stay down here. And Dusty, you work at the school. You're one of the coaches up there, and maybe you got a little bit of insight too, you know. And then Jared, some of your classmates and your buddies are out for cross country, so we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about the cross country team. So the cross country team, they have a lot of runners out this year.
A lot.
I know that
don't even
They
know what the
had-
number is. They had at one time, I think they had more than our football team.
Wow.
Like it was a bunch. Like at one practice, like they got more kids up there than we do. So,
Wow.
but that was with junior high too. But they had I don't know what they got now. I guess they,
No, I've been to the majority of the meets. I think I might have missed out on one meet, and the cross country team's doing pretty good. I know last year Tressa Big Bear, she qualified for the state meet, and so I know that she has kind of high expectations for herself. I know that she's been out there running really hard. I'm not sure exactly how many times that she placed, but she's leading the pack out there for the girls team out there. And then there's a number of girls that are out there running too, and those girls, those young ones, the Grant girls,
Gianna and
Gianna.
Miu. Yeah, she's a golfer. Yeah, what's the younger one's name? Junior high. She runs too.
So I see those girls at the meet,
terrible. I can't
and
remember.
those girls at the meets, they tell me, hey, we're getting ready for basketball.
Yeah.
They're getting ready for basketball.
Yeah.
And I look at the cross country team, both the boys and the girls team. They're all basketball players. They're all going to be on the basketball team this year. And so I'm looking at it, man. They're all young. I think Callan Medina's our only senior that we have for the boys team, maybe.
Probably.
And so then everybody else is all underclassmen, and they're doing really well. For the girls team, I know that Tressa was medaling. I know that for the JV team, a couple of the girls are medaling, and DJ LaPointe and Ho Hump.
Ho Hump's in there.
Yeah, Ho Hump.
Yeah.
Those guys, I see they both medaled in the JV.
Yep, I saw that.
And then
That's cool.
for the varsity boys, Callan Medina, he took first place on the very first meet, and then he sprained his ankle, and so he's been running on a sore ankle, most of the first half of the season, and then he's been resting the last few weeks, trying to get that ankle healthy for
Basketball.
well, no, actually for a conference, which is actually Friday conference meet.
Friday night, or is it Friday?
Yeah,
at
it's
5 or
Friday
something?
late. Friday late in Bloomfield.
Yeah.
And so,
I said,
so we'll
I
have
actually
a,
just talked to Mom about it. I said, who has a meet on a Friday night? It's like, isn't that for football? He's
I know.
He's thinking the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like,
In the dark.
yeah.
yeah, and so then my boy Rock, he's placed at every meet so far except for one, I believe, and he just took third place home last week from South Sioux.
Oh, up there?
Yeah, he
I
did
saw that.
really
Yeah.
he did really good in
He's
there.
done good.
And then South Sioux meet's always real windy because it's right there by the river,
Yeah.
and there's no wind block. And the last couple of years, I went up there, and it's just like, how can they run in that wind? And I just put your face down, and just try to lean forward and try not to breathe
That's
so
what I
much.
said something to Tressa. I was like, oh, it's flat up there. You'll be all right. And she's like, it's windy every time. He's like, it's terrible.
Would you honestly though, as a cross country runner, would you rather run in South Sioux to win or run in Beamer with the hills? What's tougher?
Go to Pender on their golf course. 'Cause
I
it's
have
flat.
and there's trees.
There's a few
There's
trees, yeah.
on it, keep it up. Yep.
And there's a beer cart.
Beer got us riding around. He's talking about everybody getting ready for, all the basketball players out for cross country back when
Yeah.
we was young. We played football to get ready for basketball.
Yeah.
Big difference back then, though, the 80s and now.
80s football is different than nowadays football.
Yeah.
But it was
Talking basketball, fool.
Oh, oh yeah. Think how much we ran like back in the day, man. That was so crazy.
Hey, when they have those nighttime, the nighttime track cross country meets, all you gotta do is have a couple cop cars out there, light their lights up, sitting out in the dark. Give everybody a little boost.
Hey, have that little golf cart in the back. Just have a little top line.
German Shepherd running beside it. You scare everybody out. Then we get running fast. And
Yeah, so,
running the cornfield, hiding out.
and then we have a lot of freshmen. I think there's maybe 4 freshmen that are on the basketball team that are all, they're on a cross country team. They're all ball players, and those guys, those guys just came off of from last year, like an undefeated basketball season here in Winnebago and up in the city. So that team right there, those boys, they're ready to run,
there's some
man.
good players
I can't
there.
wait till basketball season gets here. So, but before we even talk about any kind of basketball, for the cross country team, their next meet, like we just now said, is over in Bloomfield on Friday. They're running in the conference, the Lewis and Clark Conference cross country meet, and so we're looking. I know that there's a good runner from Ponca and the boys, and then I haven't heard too much about where the good runners are outside of the conference, but Winnebago's looking at if those top, if we can have our I think they said that we can have 4 or 5 varsity runners. You can run 4, count 4, or run 5 or count 4.
Yep.
You can run 5 in varsity and count 4. We have a good chance of placing in conference, because our top 5 runners, they all stick by each other, and so hey man, good luck to you boys out there, and I'll be taking that trip over there, and I might send you some video there, Bethany, so we have some video to talk about next week, and then next week, I believe it's on Thursday, the same day you guys had the football game against our nation.
Is that districts in?
Districts.
Yeah.
So the AD, before he left, he clowned that one too. So unless the new AD did that, I don't know. But anyway, then the cross country meet is going to be like 2 hours away somewhere, and so we'll be heading up to that one.
Choose districts, you just go where they send you.
Yeah. And so we'll make sure and keep everybody updated on the cross country team as well as the football team. And then you just make sure to give everybody as much info as you can, because the Big Voice Sports Talk Show will be going on as much as we can. But I know we might not hit every week like we did last year, so we'll try to get everybody updated on everything. Then. So okay, we almost running out of time here. We got about 4 minutes left on the clock, so I want to make sure and make mention. This past weekend here in Winnebago, my boy, his name is Greg Bass III. He had this idea of starting this Pee Wee football, or this Pee Wee basketball league for kindergarten, first graders, and second graders. So he advertised that for about a month and a half, and we got the first day was this past weekend on Sunday, and man, we had a good turnout. There was probably about 45 kids show up, all kindergartners, first and second graders. And I'm going to tell you, that was the group of parents I talked to when I talked about Winnebago having good athletes. Man, just looking at that age group and what we have already, just without even teaching anybody anything yet, man, we're going to be sitting pretty good for some years,
Yeah.
And so these parents they have to be teaching their kids how to play already. I mean, they have to be, or they have to be doing something with them to get them going, because I just see it, But just so the listeners all understand what I mean, is that we have about 40 kindergarten, first and second graders. We have 6 different coaches that either their kid or their nieces are playing, and it's so fun. They go, the first 20 minutes is fundamentals, and at that age group, how do you teach fundamentals? Well, you just make it fun. You want to go over the basics, which is shooting, passing, dribbling, and defense. And so you teach them the basics, just to get in line, give them basketball, and let them see what they can do. And then first week, the first 20 minutes was practice, and then the rest of the hour is playing games, and that's where it gets fun. We got all the parents are sitting up in the bleachers. We got the kids going back and forth. Half of them know what they're doing. Half of them are still trying to figure it out, and they see each other running up and down court trying to score. So sometimes you just see one or two of the kids just running up and down court back and forth. Not getting the ball, not playing defense, just following the kids. But the look on their face makes it all worth it, because they're out there having fun.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing, right?
So at that age, back in the day, he was talking about his son who's doing it. At that age, when his son was that age, playing in that era, doing the same thing that he just said, he would get it. There's a video floating around too of it a long time ago. Coon Bass.
I didn't tell him this Coon. He's doing it on his own.
Coon is me. So Coon, you guys know who Coon is. 6'3", 6'4", about 280 pounds, just big man. So he was a little bitty guy back then, and he'd shoot and miss it. Then he'd start acting like he fell down on the ground like he was dying and dead. And laying on the ground like he's knocked out. And so Quincy did that about 2 or 3 times. And finally, Quincy got him mad. He's on the sideline. He went and picked him up, carried him off the side, set him down. Set Kuno on the bench. And Kuno's on the bench here. He's still acting like he's in space. And all it was is because he missed a shot. So anyway, we gotta try to find that video. Kuno, I'm gonna find that video and post it.
Hey, son, they fouled you. They fouled you. I was going to defend my kids now. But that big shout out to the coaches though. Darius was there. Darius Bass was there. Lala Carnes was there. Greg was there, and Ira Rave Jr. was there. And then we have Kobe Smith as one of the coaches. Sky Aldrich is one of the coaches. So big shout out to the coaching staff for the Pee Wee Basketball League down here, which is going on for 6 weeks. And I believe if it's a good turnout, if it continues being a good turnout, we might extend it down another 6 weeks.
Nice.
And he actually asked permission to use Warpath as the sponsor for that. So Warpath, we're getting a shout out, and we're actually the ones getting credit to organizing this. But big shout out to Greg for all he's doing there for the community, because he's doing this on his own time.
Good job.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that does it for our episode today here on the Big Voice Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Coach Q, and this is B-Luv is in the house.
Oh, my bad. I was spacing out, still thinking of that video.
And then a big shout out to Coach Dusty and Coach Nick, and then also the All-American.
Appreciate you guys
here
having us.
showing up.
Good.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to 100.9 FM. This is KWTN, the Big Voice Radio. This is Big Voice Sports Talk Show. We will see you again next week. Talk about sports.
Big Voice, KWTN, 100.9 FM, Allen, Nebraska, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe.